What's up, party people? This is your boy DC, the Brain Supreme of Tag Team. I'll be on the I Only Touch Greatness podcast very, very soon. Whoop, there it is. Oh yeah, Bruce, there it is. Sprinkle.
Check it to record, let's begin. Party on, party people, let me hear some noise. DC's in the house, jump, jump, rejoices. There's a party over here, a party over there. Wave your hands in the air, shake the dairy, yeah. These three words mean you're getting busy. Whoop, there it is, Hitman. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Whoop.
Hush it. Did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip-hop group tag team to help you plan dessert?
Fresh vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, shakalaka, 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 shaka. Scoop, shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Tag team back again.
Ice cream scooping, let's begin.
Come on, party people, let me hear you scream.
Proud to announce tag team ice cream.
Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. It's French vanilla, rocky road.
Chocolate peanut butter cookie dough.
Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, shakalaka, 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 shaka. Scoop, shakalaka, 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 shaka. Scoop. Find Geico on TikTok or Instagram to enter for the chance to win a pint.
Looking for the most beers on tap, great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B. Pub.
The John B. Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say Hayes sent you.
Turn it up. The #1 sports podcast in Vancouver with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike are taking over the podcast scene in Vancouver. Get down or lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
If anyone knows a good prospect, it's Vancouver's Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Cool thing to hear. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so we might as well get started. How we usually do this, we try to touch a little bit on the early days and work up into what you're doing nowadays.
You ain't got to do that. It's all about you. It ain't never about me. Just do it how you want to do it.
It's all about you. You're the guest, bud.
Nah, man. It's never about, trust me.
So we always get, we that's one thing about our show, man. Like, we love showing love and honor to, like, the people that give us what we, you know what I'm saying, give us this spirit of this music, you know what I mean, especially truly hip hop and music, you know,
We like
music hits, it don't feel no pain, especially party music like this. So it's always an honor. We give flowers back.
Hey, I hear you. I hear you.
So growing up in Georgia, then what was childhood like for you?
Actually, we're not from Georgia. We grew up in Denver, Colorado.
Oh.
And
your Wikipedias are wrong.
If you look at the new Wikipedia, we grew up. I was born in Chicago.
Okay. Tell us about it.
Denver. And then after college, I moved to Atlanta. Right? You must be looking at an old Wikipedia page.
Oh, it must be, yeah.
Probably one of those old Wikipedias that pop up sometimes.
It's because we've been in Atlanta for 30 years, right? So, you know what I mean? Right. It's like we represent Atlanta, but we're from Denver. And Denver's a big part, Denver's a big part of my childhood because I basically, I had a great childhood, man. And, we had a lot of friends and we got to play and we had great influences and, we might not have had much, but, we had what we needed. And I just have always been blessed. And one thing that I'm most grateful for as a young child is that my parents worked me like a dog, right? And that right there is the greatest gift they could have ever gave me because as a grown man, I do not fear work. Yeah. Therefore, there's nothing I can't do. There's nothing I can't overcome. I hustle, right? And that's me in a nutshell. And, we moved to I moved to Atlanta from Sacramento and fell in love with Atlanta. I've been here since 1989 and ended up working in the clubs. And out of the clubs came Whoomp There It Is. And out of Whoomp There It Is, we sold a ton of records, had a lot of fun, through a little heartache and a little pain, but it was all worth it. And here I am today, 28 years later, still doing it.
And when did you first get into music then?
Actually, it was 11th grade. I mean, I've been in music all my life. I don't even remember not being into music, but I remember 11th grade. I took piano lessons and was in band and stuff like that, like a lot of kids do. But
okay, what was your favorite instrument back when?
I couldn't stand none of it. I hated it. Right,
right.
This is relevant. When I got to high school, Steve had a band, right? And that's where we first met. He had a band. They would play in the quad sometimes at lunchtime. I was like, I got to be in that band. And then I used to work at the truancy office, and I would hear beautiful music from the choir down the hall. And I was like, I know I can sing. I want to be in that choir. And then I went to the first high school dance at that school, Manual High School. And I saw a DJ with 2 turntables and a mixer. And I was like, oh, hell no. I got to be a DJ. And I became masterful at all of it. And that was the catalyst that just set me apart. And all I did for the rest of my life was DJ, rap, sing, just anything that had to do with music. It was about me. And that's what led to Whoomp There It Is. And being in Atlanta, DJing in the clubs, I used to play my own records. So I had the best of all worlds. And I was in the top clubs in Atlanta. And we were making music, but I knew we weren't going to be able to get out of the Southeast because the Southeast was booty shaped, right?
Right.
I went to Steve. I was like, yo, man, we have got to make an up-tempo record. And I was, he was like, I love bass, but I don't know how to make that stuff because we're hip hop. Our influence were just straight hip hop. But I was like, no. Take it back to the essence of hip hop, because for me, the essence of hip hop was Planet Rock, because that's when the B-boy era started. All those tempo records where everybody was break dancing and dancing. I said, that's our flavor, right? And we made Whoomp There It Is. And it wasn't no rocket science or a big Manhattan project or anything like that. It was just a song about guys chasing booty on a Friday night and drinking. Just it's the same story as every country song, every rock and roll song, every song in the history of songs is about a woman, is about, chasing women, drinking, having fun on the weekends. And I remember the first time I played it.
Inside the Magic City.
Yeah. It was the summer of 1992. And I dropped that record, because I had to work that night, and it was on a cassette. And to this day, it is the biggest response on any record I've ever had. And I've been DJing for 30 years. And, my hubris as a young man, I was like, well, every song I make is the bomb. So shoot, let me start playing these other songs. And I stopped playing it for a while. But then one of the girls was like, how can you play Whoomp There It Is anymore? And I went back to it, and the same thing happened again. And there was a record company rep in the crowd, Alan Cole from Columbia Records. He was like, man, what is that? I was like, that's my new record, dog. He was like, man, give me that. I'm taking that to New York. Took it to New York, get a call from Columbia Records 2 days later. Then all of a sudden I get a call from all the labels, because I was like, this is how it works. Okay, cool. But they didn't know what to do with it, and they were playing with me. So I almost gave up. So a beautiful lady named Lisa McCall told me to call Al Bell. And for those who know who Al Bell is, in the beginning of soul music, there were 3 record companies: Philly International, Motown, Berry Gordy, and Stax. And the owner of Stax was Al Bell. And the year before Whoomp There It Is, he put out a record called Daisy Dukes, and it went gold. So I was like,
yeah, okay,
right. And that, I was like, let me give him a call. Took him about 2 weeks to call me back. I actually forgot he called me back. And I was like, oh my God, he called back. I was like, look, man, we got a hit record. Everybody's playing. I've tested it. I'm in the hottest clubs in the city. It's going down. You need to sign us. And he was like, okay. I was like, no, 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 no. You haven't even heard the record, dude. Why are you playing with me? And I'll never forget these words he said to me. He said, brother, I don't have to hear the record. I hear it in your spirit. Let's agree to agree. Get this thing moving. And I gave my 2 weeks in Magic City, signed a messed up record contract. And in a month and a half, we were platinum, and the rest is history.
Jeez. It's pretty crazy. What was that? The very first day you played it, how do you explain that pop that happened?
I don't know, man. You know, when you're young and you're trying to be a rock star, who cares?
Yeah.
Right? Like people ask me that all the time. And I'm like,
Right.
I can't even explain it. You know what I mean? Because it was just another day in a life. You know what I mean? When you look back on it, you would think that it was this big, monumental day, and it wasn't, right? Because I was already hot. I was in the hottest clubs DJing. Everybody in the city knew me, all the stars, all the athletes. So I never fell in that trap of looking at my life in that way. Plus, I watch people rise and fall, and I vowed I'd never be that dude. And I can only be the best DC, right? And, you know, that rings true to this day. All the friendships that I had all my life, I still have them because I never changed. And that's what's most important.
It shows you're probably genuine as well. That's what you don't lose friends being genuine.
No.
Who influenced you?
I tell people this all the time. I was like, you can never burn bridges.
Exactly.
Because just don't. You could, but you just don't. You might be mad enough to, but you just don't, because you never know. Somebody might come back and apologize to you, or it might have been a misunderstanding. But the way you react to things is how your future is going to unfold. So I choose not to react to things. I choose to, let it. I don't react, but I react inside, right? But then after a while, when you don't react, it goes away. And then it turns into positive energy, and that's what I've had the ability to do over life, is any traumatic event, because life is baked in the cake. It's going to be good times. It's going to be bad times. Seems like it's more bad times, but it's all in your perspective, right? And I choose to take traumatic events and turn them into positive energy. And, like we were in a major legal battle, and I said, well, you're going to get your day in court, but you better become a paralegal so you can understand what the heck these people are talking about, right? You better, because two record companies fighting for the rights to Whoomp, and it was like, okay, let me educate myself. And I learned what emotions are. I learned how to put discovery together. I learned how to read old cases, case law, and I had everything immaculate and ready for the lawyer we chose when we had to go to court, and we prevailed. And
I read somewhere, this is what you're talking about, but there was another song that was similar at the time.
Oh yeah, but that had nothing to do with what we were going through.
Okay.
There were and see, what people don't understand is that there were like 5 songs that were like that at the time, right? There was another group called A-Town Players. They actually had it before. It was A-Town Players. There was a couple group. There was so many, because Whoomp There It Is was a party scene, right? So many people that had a record out, but ours was the one that
took off.
No, it resonated. And what really helped is my relationships at Magic City, because I knew Ed Lover, and Ed Lover had heard me play it on a cassette. And he was like, man, what is that? And I was like, that's my new. He's like, give me that, man. I'm about to go play it on the show. And I was like, here you go. He's like, man, I can't do nothing with no cassette. I need vinyl. And it was like, oh man, okay. As soon as I get all this paperwork together, I'll get you vinyl. And maybe 2 weeks after I left Magic City, I met him back down there, because he's like, I'm in town. I was like, I got your vinyl. Gave him this vinyl. That next Monday, him and Dre played Whoomp There It Is for the entire half hour on your MTV Raps.
Really? Oh wow! Wow! Shout out to Dr. J too.
Yeah. Prime time, 4:30 East Coast, and the whole world heard it. And then 2 weeks later, the Bulls won their 3rd championship, and you got Michael Jordan, Pippen, and all the Bulls on the stage, and 500,000 people in Grant Park on WGN chanting "Whoop There It Is," because back then there was only
Right.
2 cable stations, WGN and TBS.
Right.
As far as, syndicated cable shows, right? That's
Right.
why everybody loves the Braves and the Cubs. And then we were gone. We were out of there then.
Yeah. Especially up there. I was about to say that was one of my questions too, because I was thinking about, like, they still got that as their stadium music, like at the Bulls, don't they?
Halftime show. We do halftime shows constantly. We just did Oklahoma City Thunder New Year's Eve, right?
I was about to say, because y'all always stadium music. How's it feeling? Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all like the go-to, one of the most go-to songs for like any like stadium music. Like, how does that even feel like?
Okay, so because behind the scenes I'm busting my ass, right? So all this don't happen. I'm versed in all kinds of stuff, right? I'm versed in SEO. I'm versed in crypto. I'm versed in legal matters. I'm versed in running my own corporation. I'm versed in digital marketing, right? And I don't give up, and I don't quit, and I understand this industry, and I understand there are 15 ways to do things. So why follow the herd when you can make your own way, right? And all I do is hustle, and I work as hard as I can. I plant seeds, and I don't think about it, right? And then all of a sudden, those seeds come back and hit me in the head, and those are opportunities. And every opportunity I get, I try to make 10 out of 1, right? And that's why we get to do stuff. And because we took the path of, being clean. And when I introduced myself, I'm sorry, DC for Tag Team. I am, a rapper. We have a clean 90s nostalgic rap group. The first 2 words I got them. The first word, clean. I go to conferences all the time. If I was just going to say I got a rap group, I'm this, they would be like, oh, okay, because all I deal with is buyers, right? Because I tried to, and see, this is the thing for everybody. In life, you're going to have times where people just don't want to help you, right? Or people don't believe in you, or people want to block you, or whatever reason it is. And at those times, I always join. If somebody tells me I can't do something, this is what I do. And that's a perfect example. I want to start doing shows again, like heavy. We do like 10 shows a year, but I wanted to do like 40 shows a year. So I was like trying to get on everybody's roster, as far as so they can know that we're doing shows like that. And everybody's like, well, you only got 1 song. And everybody gave me every excuse why they couldn't, instead of 1 excuse why they could. And I said, all right. And I joined the organization, International Entertainment Buyers Association, AIBA. And in the hierarchy of concerts, you have your buyers, and then you have your big time promoters, which is Live Nation and, Radio One and all those. And then you have your mom and pops, the very people that were telling me I can't get shows because we only got 1 song. And then you got your managers, then you got the artists. I go to their convention, 5,000 people strong. Me and Chubby Checker, the only black dudes in there. I got a big Whoomp There It Is t-shirt here. And now I'm networking. And I've effectively cut out the middleman, learned everything I needed to know. And we went from doing 10 shows to 40. Because I didn't give up. I play offense. And I don't let nobody tell me what I could do. Right? I'm an actor.
Right.
I'm a voice artist. Right? That Geico commercial don't turn out the way it is if I'm not an actor. If I just show up and say, hey, what are we doing? The Geico commercial's on and then it's off. But I prepared for that a month. Where do you think the spin and scoop comes from? Where do you think the sprinkles comes from? Right? All that stuff was prepared. All the nuances of that commercial was prepared. And now I have relationships with all those people because of that. I didn't just say, okay, I'm glad we did a commercial. I went and infiltrated Geico and the Martin Agency. Now I have long-lasting friendships with those people in one of the biggest advertising agencies in the world. Right? Because I take 1 opportunity and turn it into 10.
Perfect.
It's just a way of thinking, right? It's just a way of thinking, man. I just don't give up. I play offense and I'm not in my emotions. And I've learned to sequester my ego and I've learned to kill my pride because pride is what stops us. right?
That is true.
Pride is what stops men. Pride is what stops women. And I will take that hit inside my own body because I don't like to be wrong, but I love to be wrong because it's the path to being right. And it kills me inside. But that's a part of keeping your ego and your pride in check. And then it turns into positive energy. It turns into fuel. That's what fuels you. That's what keeps you going. That's what lets you know that there is nothing you can't do because I want it hard. Because I know everybody else ain't going to try.
One thing you've said so far that really resonates is that you made the music was made for the women. And I remember Tupac, I believe, is the one that told me or told the world that. And I remember him saying,
told the whole world.
He makes his music for the women because the guys are going to like whatever the girls are dancing to.
I worked at a strip club, right? In the world. And I broke 1 million records because guys would watch a girl dance to a certain record, then they end up liking that record subliminally and didn't know why.
Yeah.
Like all those lessons, like me being a DJ, first and foremost, I will always and forever be a DJ first because that's what raised me, right? That's what taught me the things that I know now. That's what taught me my tenacity. That's what taught me my discipline. That's what taught me all the things that I know now. And I've been able to take all of those. People used to say, man, you jack of all trades, master none, because I was always hustling. I always had irons in the fire. And I didn't believe them, right? People, and sometimes they're the people who love you the most. They just don't know. And what happens is over time, you live long enough, you hustle hard enough, you learn how to learn. You become masterful at those trades, and they come back and serve you in ways you could have never imagined.
My first job at 18 years old was in a strip club being the DJ too. So that's a little bit of circle.
I was about to say
dynamic.
Yeah. I mean, it stands out as one of my favorite jobs. Like how hard can it be at 18 looking at tits?
Yeah, man. But it destroys your spirit too. And it ruins you. And I did it for 25 years. So it was really destroying my spirit. It was time to go. Right. And it was one of the most horrifying things I'd ever had to do because I made a lot of money doing that. Right. But I had to let it go. And I was in no man's land for a minute, but I had been training because I had been a self-help geek. And just because of the traumatic experiences in my life, like I became a licensed commodities broker. I passed a Series 3 exam and I was like, nobody's going to take advantage of my money ever again. Right. And I did it. And then I'm going to run my life like a corporation. And I did it. Now I've had my company for 20 something years. And I said, well, since you're at the club, why don't you learn how to do, I learned how to do everything that a marketing company would do for a business. So now you got to hire 10 people to do all the things that one person can do, which is me. Yeah. So that's why you're going to give me health insurance, you're going to give me life insurance, you're going to give me benefits out the butt, and you're going to pay me. And that's what happens. And that's, that was the education and the funding for all my training for SEO, websites, video editing, graphics artistry, fashion photography, all the things that I can be self-sufficient in. And because I'm masterful at them now, they're all custom to me. Okay. I would never do it as a job. I could, but I would never, because I don't want to do it as a job. It's for me to be able to do my own thing or teach somebody to do what I already know. And now they'll do it the way I want them to do it. Team building, right? So all these instances in the things that have happened in our life, culminate into things that serve me now just better than I could have ever dreamed, And I mean, I'm my own publicist. Okay. We're all booking agents, right?
Right. Like, which you don't have a lot of people who don't think about that publicist part right there. So that's a huge,
how that came about? That came about because you do a Geico commercial, you on the road, but we're in a pandemic. Yeah. I can't go on the road. And I'm like, I got to take advantage of this. So I was like, let me get a publicist to blow up my acting and my voiceover and see what they could do with the commercial. And they were like, well, we never done a commercial. They gave me, once again, every reason why they couldn't instead of one why they should. Right. And then I joined the Public Relations Society of America. Right. 2 days in, this is Super Bowl week. And I was like, I got a question for you. I have a press release. And I was going to drop it, but our press release is still relevant because it was the CEO of this big firm. They're like, what's it for? And I'm like, well, I'm kind of featured in a National Geico commercial called Scoop There It Is. I'm like, no, that can't be him. Oh my God. Just blew the entire chat up. And the CEO was like, yes, that press release is going to work because the whole last year has been COVID and the whole last year has been political. And here you guys come spinning scoops and dancing and throwing sprinkles and DC, you'll smile. You're going to go here for all the publicists. You're going to go here for all the journalists. You're going to go here for all the TV talk shows. You're going to go here for all the podcasts. You're going to make sure your pictures are tight. And she gave me the entire breadth of her professional experience in 10 minutes. And it has changed my life forever. And it's the reason that you and I are talking right now. Right?
Yeah.
And it that's why I play offense, because you just, and I don't get attached to things that I'm doing, right? You don't plant a seed and sit down and be like, hey, come on, seed, grow. Man, this seed don't work, I quit. We know people like that. I plant the seed, keep it moving. And I've planted so many seeds, now I stand before you in a forest of opportunity unimaginable. And everybody's like, you can't do all this, DC, the traditionalists. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I can't do everything. I can't. But I sure enough can be prepared for everything. I'm like, ooh, that makes sense. And I just shake my head because I'm like, you just disapproved of the very thing that you approve of now said differently, because preparation is doing everything. All I do is prepare. That's it. It's about changing your mindset and thinking differently. I'm not busting my butt just to do stuff, to do this so I can get something. I am preparing for the eventuality if someone crosses my path. I'm ready for it to turn it into something else. It's a difference.
If you were having a dream dinner party and you could sit down with three famous people or other famous people that are alive, who would you want to sit down with?
Okay, Maya Angelou.
Yeah,
for
nice.
one, within reason.
That's real nice.
I know she would teach me a whole lot. Me and her could have a real good conversation. That is all that comes to mind right now. Maya Angelou is it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me,
that's a powerful one.
Yeah. And
that's the one you really just need for real. Maya Angelou had the food for the soul.
Because I know what everybody else has done, right? But Maya Angelou is different. You know what I'm saying?
She was
a different thing, man. And really, you know, maybe Barack Obama, just to holler at him, and Michael Jackson.
Okay, nice three there.
I
always go with Tupac. Seth Rogen would be my comedian, and then I don't know, kind of on the fence on who I want to go with. I always want to go with Paulina Gretzky because she's super hot. She's like Wayne Gretzky's daughter.
Yeah, like I being Tupac. I knew Tupac. I knew Biggie. Me and Tupac used to be in the same club on Fridays.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
With Tupac, one of the big radio promo in California, and he was on. And I bossed on the Magic City Dancers, and everybody swarmed us. And that's how we became really cool. I actually moved from the Bay because I went to school in Sac, and that's when Digital Underground was getting hot, right? And
okay,
I've known Too Short, I've known Hammer, I knew all of them before I was even close, right?
Close. Damn.
And I got to Atlanta, and I got there when Babyface, L.A. Reid got there, Bobby Brown. Deion Sanders was drafted the year I got there. Dominique Wilkins. Everybody in Atlanta I knew. They knew me because we all hung out at the club. Everybody hung out in my DJ booth in Magic City. So I've been doing this. That's why my whole existence is learning what not to do. And that's all I do, because I have a front row seat to, humanity, right? Being in that DJ booth. I'm watching humanity. I'm watching what not to do, how to treat women, how not to treat women, right? Like every dancer's best friend, because we're on the same side, because I'm showing them how to make money and we're all making money together. You show a woman how to make money, she loves you forever. I promise.
That's for sure.
I promise.
Do you got any memories, of any of those?
What do you mean?
One memory of Pac, Biggie, or Babyface, or any of them?
No, I mean, we just used to hang out. They would come to the club. I see him at the club, and we holler, we sit down, talk, drink some champagne. It was never like we hung out and we went fishing and stuff like that. But when you see people in passing,
right? Like, or any story of any celebrity that you ever had.
And Biggie hung out, just chilling on my car in front of a Fox Theater. You know what I'm saying? When Puffy was all talking to a bunch of girls, like me and him was just chilling. You know what I'm saying? So you have these. Snoop. Suge, you see Suge all the time. Coolio, everybody. Now, and then all the people we do go on tour with, Vanilla Ice, Tone Loc, we've been friends for years. Right? Remember Salt and Pepper used to see them, we used to all see each other at the clubs, right? I used to be at a club called Atlanta Live, and it was like I was almost doing a show every weekend because I was who I was. And every star would come through and give me love. Janet Jackson, everybody used to come through, right? So it is never, I can only be me.
Yeah.
For all the gangsters, everybody from all the way back to the late 80s, right? I knew everybody, still know everybody, because I treat people like I want to be treated. My motto is you give what you want first. So
first,
that's why I've always been blessed, and that's how I ride, man.
We actually had Coolio on the podcast recently.
Right. Shout out to Mimi and Coolio.
Mimi came on too as well.
Yeah.
And also another one you were saying there, the Salt and Pepper.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Salt that she's dating Bryant McKinney or something. One of our football guests. Right now in Vancouver, this is a story that's going on. I'm
trying to get up. I might be there next week. Check out a game just so I can see it for myself.
Yeah,
you have to.
That's what I do, dude. Like, I'm not gonna sit back and wait for everybody to call me and tell me that I've been knowing that Bruce There It Is a thing.
Oh, you did know? Okay, I was gonna.
It's like, how do you play that? How do you play that? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to the people who can make that happen. So I need to go up there and crash and be like, hey, guess who's here, y'all? And it's going to shock everybody so much that somebody's going to be like, give them a mic. And when they give me a mic, it's over. And then we'll be back and when the playoffs come and we'll be singing Whoop There It Is and Bruce There It Is and Scoop There It Is and Sprinkles. And that's how I get down. I scour the earth for opportunities. And I know it's big for Vancouver. And the stars are lining up, and just let them know the tag team is appreciative for sure.
It all started because our team was losing like 10 in a row, and then all of a sudden we changed our coach. We got the new coach, Bruce Boudreau, and then friends of our show, like there's this group in the stands that they stand there and they cheer and they yell and they scream and get the crowd going. And they came up with it on the fly one day. On the very first win, came up with Bruce There It Is, and
everybody's making memes, and now it's a big thing, and it's just like they got to keep winning though.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And we're still on we're on a 9-game winning streak now.
So. So it's like that's why I'm coming up there next week because I got to see this.
Let's see if I can pull some strings and send it over to somebody.
I'm humble. I'll pay, man. I'm gonna come and be a fan, and I'm gonna go see what it is, and then I'll pick my time and I'll introduce myself, and people are going to be like, what? Exactly. And then maybe that gives a little extra juice or what have you. And, you just never know. All I try to do is create and bring people joy. That's all I'm trying to do. is make people happy and make people party, because in essence, what's the first two words of Whoomp There It Is, and what's the first two words of Planet Rock? Party people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm about. And, I look for every opportunity. I mean, I'm going to SAC because I got a crypto meeting. Then I'm probably going to go from SAC to Vancouver. And then I'm coming from Vancouver, probably go to Dallas because I'm trying to get some stuff with the Mavericks. And I will go to where I need to go. And a lot of times nothing happens. I can't reach anybody. I don't, but that's not going to stop me from trying. And, all you need is one. That's it.
I think I know which guy I need to contact too. So
one. That's
see
it.
We'll see what we can do on our end for that one. Hey, when
I'll let you know when I'm coming up. You know what I mean?
And if you need a ticket to a game, I got season tickets, so we could always go to a game.
Okay, cool.
And one of the questions: who is it when you back in your early days? Get back to the music part. Back in your early days, who really influenced you as an artist and made you want to get into it?
Nobody. Not really. I mean, I had, it's really hard to say because we listen to the radio. So It didn't start till high school. It didn't start till the African Bambaataa stuff. Planet Rock, Pat Cam, all them up-tempo records, right? That's what started. Right. Then what really influenced is when I moved to California, I would buy records from every region in the country. So I buy records from DC, New York, LA, Bay Area. So now I'm influenced by every form of hip hop because they were all white labels. So cats in the hood would make their own records, and I catch the hottest thing that was in those regions. And now I'm playing it in Sacramento because I do my own parties in the dining commons just because I'm trying to get DJ better. And from the beginning of MC Shan, Boogie Down Brock, Scott LaRock, I go back that far, right? I go to Roxanne,
the Juice Crew,
real Roxanne, Howie's Teed Off, Whistle, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. I go back to the white label when Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Girls of the World Ain't Nothing But Trouble was the hottest street record in New York 2 years before they had put it out.
Wow.
Back then, we all used samples. And when they used that I Dream of Jeannie sample, it was banging, right? Because everybody grew up watching I Dream of Jeannie. So it was just natural. But see, when they put it out and they blew it up, then everybody was like, oh, that's popcorn rap, right? Because it was I Dream of Jeannie. Like, it changed that quick. But
yeah, it did.
Hottest records in the street. It was on a light blue label, light blue record, white label, and just Girls of the World Ain't Nothing But Trouble. And I played that. I still got that record. It is so beat up. And like I went back and went to the stores, got some of my records, and I was like, I can't even play these. They're so beat up because our ears are so used to fidelity now, right?
Fidelity now, right?
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my God, what can I'm trying to clean it and put grease on it. Whatever I got to do to get that record sounding how it used to sound.
How it used to sound, right? It's not going to happen. Nowadays, because I have my old collection still, my CD collection, and now I just got the vinyl collection now because now I'm, type of collecting vinyls now because I always wanted to be a vinyl collector, which hopefully one day I get the Whoop There It Is vinyl soon. You know what I mean? Because I love vinyls. Because you see how, what I'm saying, how much hip hop is with that because you still got your collection. You know what I mean? You can go back. Even if it's skipped, you'll skip the song if you have to,
And I went and bought a turntable and everything. I was like, bought a turntable, thought I was going to relive songs. Like, what the hell did I buy a turntable for? I bought it just so I could look at it spin because I ain't done that sitting right here. I ain't done nothing with it, right? So, I mean, I have had a ball, and this is what I tell people, right? 28 years ago, I planted a seed. And it was Whoomp There It Is. And now Whoomp There It Is a sequoia. It's not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been up to me to make our own money. I never expect anyone to do anything for me. I don't buy into those narratives. I will go get it myself, right? I will go tackle it myself. How can I go I'm going to a music conference this weekend in New York, right? Another buyers conference, right? I'm starting, the process of becoming a motivational speaker. I do 3 or 4 of these podcasts a day. Been doing 3 for like the last 3 years. And then I got like 4 TV shows, couple movies coming out. Like, I do this. And my voiceover, my voiceover career is flourishing this week on NBC. I do this. Okay. And it took a long time to do all of that because I'm doing so many different things. So it took a little longer. And the pandemic made me realize that there are no missed opportunities. There are no mistakes. Yep. You can correct it all. And that's what I've done. I love being the narrative that he didn't start acting until he was 50. I love that narrative because that lets people know that there's nothing that you cannot do. If you put it's going to take a hell of a lot of work. And it's going to take a heck of a lot of energy. You got to be healthy. You got to have your wits about you. But man, I am having the time. I love getting auditions. I don't see it as rejection. I see it as an opportunity to put in them reps, right? And everything is about reps. You don't go to the gym, do one set of bench press, 20 reps, and be like, go in the mirror and be like, all right, I'm buff now. I do not work that way.
Well, that's how I feel after one.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it takes a while. And I'm willing to put in the work. I don't care how long it takes.
You're also.
And I vow that I am not going to leave this earth regretting something I didn't do that I wanted to do. So I got tutors and coaches, and I just know how to find people that can shorten my learning curve. I'll fly to wherever so I can shorten my learning curve and be versed in something. Right now I'm on the verge of starting an NFT collection out of this world. I'm on the verge of putting together a metaverse play, right? I'm deep into crypto. I'm in all aspects of investing, right? Starting other companies while acting, while doing all these things, while mixing all these things that I do together, understanding how an ad agency works, understanding how a corporation, all these things, because I'm in it. Yeah. And you better learn. And that's the funnest thing. That's the funnest thing I love to do is learn, and I am not letting anything get in the way.
You're also a stand-up comedian as well, right?
Yeah, man. I was to my back. That's one that I might not get back to. But doing that, right? I took 2 comedy classes, but I couldn't keep going because I had a broken back, right? I had to have back surgery, so I couldn't stand. So I would have been in 3 comedy clubs a night putting together everything, right? But when you start something and you really, really good at it, if you don't continue, it's hard, but it's hard to get back to it. So it's hard for me to get back to comedy, but I did comedy, and there's a reason I did it. I didn't do it because because of comedy. I did it because when we started doing shows about 6-7 years ago, everybody was like, so can you do an hour show? And I was like, yep. And it was like, how are you gonna do an hour show with one, with one song? It's like, because I'm a DJ, first of all. And I'll find some other ways to entertain people. And I went and took comedy classes so I can have segues into songs that people didn't know. So now they're laughing, we're having a good time, and I segue into a song. Now I sing the song, come out of it, tell some more jokes, but I'm not telling jokes. I'm talking to people, and these are segues into songs they haven't heard before. And by the time the DJing and all the stuff and the party chants and all that get done, we're at WHOOMP There It Is, and it's over, right?
You've had more than one song. You had the Pig Power song that was on the.
I don't go there.
Okay, we're not going there.
I don't go there. And that's the thing. That's the thing too. I learned SEO and recently really drilled down on SEO so I could get all the stuff that I don't want in my knowledge panel off. Right. Okay. And that's important. You know what I'm saying? That's important. And, I don't know. What are you reading from? You reading from Wikipedia?
That one I made up myself, and it came. It's because I looked on your. I was going through your Spotify. I was going
crazy. Pig Power was a nice lick. You know what I'm saying? And and it's it's like it's hard because we don't have a lot of songs. We got albums, but everything we were doomed from the start because nothing was ever going to be bigger than WHOOMP There It Is, right?
That's the one question I got for you there. Then I got that other one off of your Spotify, but having that Whoop There It Is be so big, you almost regret that it's that big because you've never been able to match it again.
I have a full thriving career.
Yeah. Based off of that.
28 years on one damn song.
Yeah. That's
and it's
awesome.
Stadium music. It's stadium music. Like
every year there is something. It's in a movie. Every year,
yeah, it's in a movie.
Is in a commercial. Every year it is in something. Every year we do show. We did the sheer variety of shows we get to do.
I even think it was on. I think it was on the Young Rock too. Tell you the truth, I think it was on the Rock
shows we've done. We did 2 parades in December. We throwing out first pitches now, right? So now I got Major League Baseball. I got NFL. I'm trying to get the NHL.
Yeah, we're coming.
I'm about to get soccer. Like I'm trying to do stuff for the World Cup. I'm trying to do stuff for the Olympics, right? Because that commercial has solidified our place in history. Because we'll never do a bigger commercial, right? It's almost that commercial is like Whoomp There It Is. We'll never do a bigger commercial. That Geico commercial is going to live forever.
Yeah.
And the CEOs told me that is the biggest Geico commercial that they've ever done. I said,
it's the truth.
I said, more than Hump Day? It's like, yep. It's like, more than the Caveman? It's like, well, the Caveman was a cereal. I was like, okay. And then I thought about it and I did my research. And then I even went to Nielsen and iSpot TV because I'm trying to find my value add because I do that. And they told me the same thing. And I was like, that's an accomplishment. But
that's a huge accomplishment.
I'm too busy trying to take this opportunity and turn it into 40. Right. So I'm not rah. You know, we just were on the cover 3 weeks ago of the biggest advertising magazine in the world.
I saw
for
that.
Commercial of the Year, Adweek. The whole advertising world knows tag team now. So now I can make pitches for any brand that I want to. All I got to do is learn how to do it. And all the things, all the mastery that I've acquired on all those trades, graphics, knowing SEO, knowing how to pitch, knowing how to talk to people, all those things now come back to serve me. And now people take me seriously. They always have. But now, it would behoove them not to take me seriously, especially if I come correct.
You've performed in stadiums all over the world, including Super Bowl, I believe. Is there one venue that stands out as your favorite one you've performed at?
There's 2.
Okay.
Hippodrome, Leicester Square, London, England. Because we were on. It was actually a show with CeCe Peniston by radio station, and
CeCe Peniston.
Yeah. We just like we're gonna go up here because I think they want us before. And we went up there, and we saw that crowd, and I was like, Steve, we need to perform. When I asked the program director, I was like, we gotta go back to the hotel, get the DAT. Because back then we used DAT tapes.
Yeah.
And we got one of them little English taxis, went back to the hotel, came back. They took us down in the basement, and they had a platform on hydraulics that rose up out of the crowd, and it was straight out of Mad Max. And we came up, there's like, we got a special performance, and we came up, and everybody's like, who the hell is this? And as soon as I said party people, I have never, ever felt energy like that.
Oh.
Ever. And this was the height of it. The second one is we're in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and we're on the side of this mountain going up to this. We got a performance, and I'm like, where are we going? And we're on the side of a mountain, ain't got no bar, no rails or nothing. And it's just like raining. It was horrible, man. And I thought I was going to die that night. And we get up the mountain and we go through this jungle into a soccer stadium. And it was like 80 speakers on one side and 80 speakers on the other, and a stadium full of kids. And I have never heard bass like that in my life. And in Brazil, they call Whoomp There It Is, Whoop There It Is. And they knew every word we were doing. And those are the 2 special performances, places that, we basically performed in the Amazon jungle, right?
Jeez.
Like,
Right.
I would have never imagined that, ever. So, I mean, I've had a good time, man. I had a good time. And for me, I want to thank y'all for letting me come on here and run my mouth, because all I'm trying to do is just talk to people about the things I wish somebody had talked to me about when I was a young man, you know?
Right.
Oh, I got one more question.
Oh, I almost had one
I had
more
to get
too.
that in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Go ahead. No, it's an honor, man. It's a huge honor just having the gems on this, man, because this is pure gems to us, man. And to me, I as a fan and as going back as a kid and remembering all that, like I remember how impactful that song was. That was like one of the number one 90s songs. Like everybody was saying it. You know, movies, like you said, everybody was saying that. And even they had the title of, you know, what I'm getting to right now with the Wayans brothers, because I think it was like the first or second episode, they had a title called Goop, Here It Is. It was called Goop.
Yeah, you talk about In Living Color?
No, not In Living Color. The Wayans brothers. Remember, Wayans brothers had a series. Yeah. Marlon Wayans and Sean.
Everybody did it. Did it. Everybody did it, man.
Right, and they even had Kerry Coleman. You know, because it was like a hair. It was supposed to be a man-made hair thing, and they had Garrett Morrison. They had Garrett Morrison. They had Robin Gibbons, not Robin Gibbons, but the other Robin. And I remember when they had that Goop, Here It Is, I was like, what made them think it? Have you even seen the episode?
Anything that got two O's in it, it's been done. Poop, scoop, whoop, coop, whatever.
Right.
You know, so
they should make dog bags. Make dog bags that are called Poop There It Is.
But the poop was from the Huggies commercial with the diapers.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
It's like the Swoops was the Pringles with the chocolate on them. Like what? Like, I mean, it just was. It never ceases to amaze me.
All right, have you seen that episode of the Wayans brothers?
I think I saw it a long time ago, because I've seen pretty much everything, and I've got it in an archive somewhere. There's so much stuff. I just, it's hard to. I have to look at it to see. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Hey, Prince, we gotta wrap this up.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
We need to keep it under an hour to put it on the internet. So we want to thank you for taking the time and coming on and talking to us and giving us the inside scoops, like Scoop There It Is. And thank you for coming on the show, and we really appreciate it.
Hey man, thank you for having me.